It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Thursday, which means it is off the rails. And here in the mothership, which is Studio 22, at least for now. Because over the holidays, we're moving. We're moving into that room over there. Like right over there. We're moving right over there. We're going to go out that window and down that street right there that you see. Yeah. We're moving. No, I think they're just going to pick this set up and set it down over there. Mark, we should do something different. Let's just, I don't know. We should set it up and just change a couple of things and see if people notice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
just move things around, see people.
I'm like Glenn Beck in so many ways, including knowledge and wealth. But one of those is the creative thing. I just want to do different things. I like new stuff. But Glenn actually has power. I don't have power. Anyway, the puppet master, the perfectionist Mark, is driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity. And of course, the Super Mario Chris Cruz, and Better Than Ezra is sitting over there too. Yeah. If you follow me on Facebook on the Watch Chad Prather page, which many of you do. The Blaze links that get posted there and various other things, whether it's memes, videos, things like that. That's Ezra. She's the one who's doing that. So thank you for doing such a fantastic job with that Facebook page and other social media outlets that are out there. I do appreciate it. Got so many things going on that I'm just happy that competent individuals, creative individuals, wise individuals like Ezra, Better Than Ezra, is doing that job. Thank you. Good to have you in here. Later on the show, we've got the Hodgetwins are going to be joining us. They got a brand new children's book out. So Keith and Kevin will be on via Skype. So I'm looking forward to catching up with those guys for a minute. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the holidays. I mentioned yesterday that the studies are now saying that 60% of vaccinated people do not want to allow their unvaccinated family to join them for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Which is okay. What is that like? First of all, let me unpack that for a second. So 60% of those imaginary people they supposedly polled are saying they don't trust their vaccine. Because if they trusted their vaccine, they wouldn't give a crap who was vaccinated or not. They would just say, or we can assume that they just don't love their family very much. So they, look, you don't want to be with those assholes anyway, right? Like if that's their mindset, look, the fight was going to break out over the turkey and dressing. It was going to happen. So you might as well just avoid it altogether. Stay at home, do a Hungry Man dinner, Salisbury steak, sit in front of the TV and watch football. Go Cowboys. It's going to be plenty of other people out there. And trust me, when the blah blah kicks in and everybody's face is melting off, you'll be glad that you sacrificed Thanksgiving and Christmas that one year to go be around Karen and her other fat kids. So don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine, just fine. No, see, this is the propaganda. They're trying to do everything they can. They're trying to do everything they can to put the propaganda out there to try to make you get the blah blah. Right? And they're saying, well, you just can't, the holidays just won't be the same. I can't believe that we've gotten to a point where our holidays are actually being built around a medical procedure. Like I need to go out and get a procedure done. I mean, I understand that Aunt Shirley got new boobs last year, but that was by her choice, right? And she looked good in that Christmas sweater. All right. It's a weird family. But either way, folks, do what you want to do. That's the deal. Don't let the woke mob and cancel culture, even if your own family are the ones trying to cancel you at Christmas, don't put up with it. You don't have to deal with it, folks. Just remember that alpha males, apex predators, alpha females, too, in that regard, if we're going to go ahead and get gender with it. If we're going to get, not freaky with it, but get gender with it, you're not trolls, right? You don't have to bow down to what everybody else says. You don't have to be reactionary to every single thing. Let me do that. I'm a professional. At the end of the day, folks, you do you. That's all you got to do. You're a free person. You've got liberty. And to the degree that your liberty doesn't infringe on somebody else's liberty, you're free to do what you want to do. And remember, December 25th, it is, at the end of the day, just another day. Albeit, I hope that we remember that that Christmas is not on cargo ships off the coast of California in the Pacific Ocean, but it is the spirit of Christmas that keeps us motivated, moving forward. And remember, the reason for these holiday seasons, folks, and it's not bowing down at the altar of that false idol, which is Anthony Fauci. Hey, TacPack's the premier monthly subscription box for military tactical prepper and Second Amendment enthusiasts. We've got constant attacks on our Second Amendment rights. It's more important right now, more than ever, to get equipped with TacPack. For just $49.95 a month, you're going to get at least $100 worth of gear from different companies, like our friends at 511, Sons of Liberty, Gunworks, Mission First, Tactical Arma Spec, whole lot more. A lot more. They send out AR-15 parts, accessories, EDC tools, knives, and gear to keep you prepared for when it hits the fan. And with the holidays just around the corner, hey, obviously you're not going to be with your family to give you gifts because you're unvaccinated. You need to give yourself a gift. TacPack makes a perfect gift just for you. November's loaded with machined AR parts, tools, and a whole lot more. Has a whopping value of $105. And if you're really hardcore, sign up for TacPack Plus, which has a value of $245 for the November pack. Go to TacPack, TACPack.com today. Use promo code CHADI, spell it Chad, at checkout and receive a free extra bag of tactical goodies shipped out with your first pack. These things are flying off the shelf, so get yours before they go away. Go to TacPack.com, sign up today, use offer code Chad, and we'll be right back. Well, you know, I'm running for governor in the state of Texas, and as a would-be politician, I can admit I was wrong. All right, you won't hear the White House press secretary Jen Psaki ever say that. You won't ever hear Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or anybody else out there say that. But I'm telling you, I was wrong, and I apologize. I told you that our buddies Keith and Kevin Hodge, the Hodgetwins, were going to be on, and during the break, we had a technical difficulty with the Skype. That happens sometimes. And I will play the political blame game and say that the connection problem was on them. Yeah. But I'll just sit here and do that for 5 minutes. Just go, yeah. And you'll feel like you're with the Hodge twins, okay? Yeah. And just, laugh at things I say myself. But no, I love those guys. We'll get them back on after Thanksgiving. I know everybody's looking forward to it. But I do want to talk about what we were going to talk about, and that is their new book from Brave Books, More Than Spots and Stripes. So Brave Books is doing a phenomenal job of writing children's books, and the children's books have activities and exercises, and they built this entire fictional world. Freedom Island, and it's just incredible. All their books comes with the big map, and they got stickers that you can place the characters on where the events happened on the map. And I got introduced through my friend Ashley St. Clair. She did a book, Elephants Can't Be Birds, and it was dealing with transgender issues in children and gender modifications in children. And then, of course, our friend Jack Posobiec, he just did one called There's No Such Thing as Free Ice Cream, which dealt with communism. And so Keith and Kevin Hodge, the fellas, came out with this new book that I'm excited about. And it's helpful for adults, by the way. This deals with critical race theory, More Than Spots and Stripes. And so it's the story of the cheetah here, you got the striped cheetahs, you got the spotted cheetahs, so on and so forth. It's a great, great creative book. It's even got a little illustration of Keith and Kevin back here in the back, and it looks just like them. The animation, though, in these books is absolutely phenomenal, and I encourage you, get these books. Get them for your kids. Get them for your collection. And it comes, like I said, with the big map and everything. It's through Brave Books. You can do a search. You can even get on Instagram, follow Brave Books, keep up with everything they've got doing. I've been begging them forever. They need to have a redneck cowboy like me do a children's book. I think it would be, and they're open to it. They're open to it. They like it. So, if you want to read an adult children's book, get my book, Am I Crazy? read it on the toilet. But get their book, and it's just now coming out, More Than Spots and Stripes, the Hodgetwins. So we'll get them on, talk to them, chat about it, and get a little more information as this thing has come out and been out a little bit longer. So anyway, thanks to Brave Books for sending the book in. And let's see, what do we talk about? Let's go back to shooting things, or whatever's going on in the world. Oh yeah, there was more shooting. Homeowner orders intruder to leave, but instead intruder starts moving towards a homeowner. Homeowner opens fire. It said after 4, 5, 6 warnings, I had to stop him. Now that's happened in Missouri. That's Sedalia, Missouri. I think I'm saying that right, Sedalia. I don't have a problem with this. If I come into your house, I break into your house, I should be shot. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. If you come into my house, you're going to get shot. When I moved last week, the movers, they said, because they couldn't transport my guns and our ammunition. And so when we got there, though, they go, I had set all my bags and stuff down. They were like, where do you want all of your guns? And I said, you don't worry about that. I'm going to, and they said, well, you got to move them anyway. And I was like, yeah, just leave them in the bags there, because I spread my guns out. My theory is I want one within reach at all times, whether I'm in the truck, whether I'm at home, whatever it may be. Usually on my person as well, because I don't trust none of you bastards.
Did you at least let them touch it so you could get the fingerprints just in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I let them rub the trigger a little bit. Yeah. Kind of like that attorney Binger.
Yep.
The prosecution against, just put it right on the trigger. But no, the
like that? Is that what you did?
That's what I did.
You pointed at them?
Yeah, there it is. No, this is the thing. That's why this Rittenhouse trial is so important. Because your ability to defend yourself is what's on trial. Just like the attorney, Binger, who said that you forfeit your right to claim self-defense when you have a firearm. No, that's exactly what you should have in regards to self-defense. And then, of course, that putz kept talking about should have kicked him in the testicles, should have hit him with the gun. This ain't a club. It ain't a club. I've always told people, if you got a firearm and you don't have a bullet in the chamber, all you got is a hammer. I mean, it's made for shooting things, and you don't point it at anybody you don't intend to destroy or anything. But I mean, hey, kudos to him. He felt brave enough to fire a few warning shots, and anyway, didn't kill him. So put him down. That's the world we're living in, man. They want to make sure. I mean, they want to bring that down. Lose your right. Then, of course, there was on another spectrum. There was a hospital that suspended a doctor who defended ivermectin's safety as a COVID-19 treatment. Criticized vaccine mandates. Guilty of spreading dangerous information that is not based in science. What the hell was the Nobel Prize based in when they gave it to the creators of ivermectin for humans and its use in humans back in 2015? What was that? So this was Houston Methodist Hospital, which, by the way, I'll be in New Caney, Texas on Sunday. We're helping raise money for people who have been fired from Methodist Hospital. That's this Sunday. But anyway, been suspended. The privileges of a doctor who defended it. And so there you go. They do not want you speaking out in any regard. You've got to bow down to this information agenda that they want. And anything that you say that is against the narrative, you're out. You're canceled. You're fired. You're done. You got to go away. So anyway, he had tweeted, this doctor had tweeted, he said, ivermectin might not be as deadly as everyone said it is. Speak up. So anyway, they said that's harmful for the community. Yeah, if you go to the Tractor Supply and you buy a big old caulk gun tube of ivermectin, start squirting it up your ass, that's probably not the most effective treatment. If you're brushing your teeth with the stuff and all that kind of, but you believe it or not, there is ivermectin for humans. Yeah.
And Chad, just to give you an update on that story, Dr. Mary Bowden has just tweeted, I have broken free from the Methodists and very much appreciate the flood of support I have received. Sincerely, thank you all who have reached out with kind words. So she has quit her position at the hospital.
The church ain't a bad.
I know
that ain't a bad analogy, right? I know
there. the church of the COVID.
Yeah.
But she has resigned from her position at the facility.
I'm going to reach out to her through Twitter, see if I can get her at that event.
I was going to tell you. So, what is the future here? Because I'm seeing a lot of stories where teachers, doctors, all these people are getting suspended, and nurses, which last time I checked, they were heroes last year. Today, they're just horrible human beings. So, is quitting the right thing to do?
I don't think so, but I also don't know. Right. So, my opinion has been, and again, this is as an outsider, I'm not in your shoes, so I certainly can't tell people what to do. But I think if I were in that position, I would wait as long as I could until I'm fired. And then I have a legal recourse in some ways. That's my opinion. But again, I don't know. This is Texas where this is happening. Remember, there's supposedly an executive order, right? Everybody loves those executive orders that came from Greg Abbott, the governor. But obviously, executive orders aren't worth the paper that they're written on unless you push it through the legislative process and sign it into law. And there is no implication that they plan to do that with a special session in the state of Texas. And I know that only 15 or 16 House reps that are Republicans in the state out of 101 House Republicans have advocated for there being a special session to deal with employer-mandated vaccinations. Then you have, that's on the state level, but then it gets real sticky because you have OSHA, which is a federal agency, sticking their nose in everything. OSHA should have no place in whether or not you're vaccinated. In determining the safety of a workplace. This is not their place, but that's what the federal government has given them authority to step in and do. So it becomes very, very problematic in these places that have federal oversight and federal funding. So I don't know, Chris. I think that it's at some point in time you're going to get rid of the best of the best. I made a joke yesterday. I was driving down the street in Fort Worth, and here comes four, I assume medical professionals. They're all wearing scrubs downtown, and they're walking across the street. And Steve Helms said, he goes, "There go the heroes." I said, "Yeah, we know who's been vaccinated." Because if you still got a job, then there's a good chance you've been vaccinated. Of course, it was tongue-in-cheek. I was just joking. But because, again, I don't care if you get vaccinated. That's fine. I personally don't believe that I need to be vaccinated. And I know that makes me public enemy number one. But you've been vaccinated, so you're good. You're good. You're safe. You shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. I should be able to come hang out with you at Christmas, and we should be able to, get fat together. Because that's what we're worried about. We're going to go pour giblet gravy down our gullets like the fat, obese Americans that we are on the holidays, fill ourselves up with pie and cranberry sauce. But no. Flu from China with a 99.8% survival rate is what we're worried about. That's what we're scared of.
And Chad, I'm sorry, but I feel like not only the executives are listening, but the government is listening to this program because just now OSHA has suspended the implementation of the Biden administration large employer vaccine mandate.
See, that's when you know we're important right here.
Yep.
Chris, we're doing it good. We're doing God's work, quite honestly, at the Blaze, right here, the Chad Prather Show. I don't know about other folks like Elijah Schaefer or Glenn Beck. I think he used to have a show here. But those guys, they tried to do good. No, it's the white heterosexual Christian male with a cowboy hat on that burns up the ozone with his diesel truck and has a dog in the back seat. I'm the one. I am the angel of the Lord. Okay, I'm the one. So thanks for listening, federal government. I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for doing what I tell you, OSHA. Remember, mandates matter. Mandates are more than homosexual encounters between two males. Mandates, they matter. And I've mandated that people vote for me, follow me on social media, leave ratings and reviews for this show. I mandated that the Hodgetwins be on this segment. But, the wrath and ire, the fire, the brimstone, when I smite them hip and thigh, when I thrashed them about the head and the neck over this. I don't know. That's racist, but they're not black. All kind of rabbit trails we could chase in this deal. Keith and Kevin, they know they're not black. They're Irish, for crying out loud. Anyway, they're very tan. Hey, read their book, More Than Spots and Stripes. You have homeowners insurance for a good reason, because without it, a fire, flood, or burglary could destroy you financially. But there's other major crime your homeowner's policy doesn't cover. It's called home title theft. The FBI calls home title fraud one of the fastest growing crimes, and it can ruin you financially, which is why you need home title lock. Home title fraud happens when a criminal forges your signature on documents stating that you sold your home to him, and then he takes out loans against your home and the equity and leaves you with the payments, and you might even get foreclosed. You could spend a fortune on legal fees trying to prove you didn't commit fraud. Home title lock is going to put a barrier around your home's title the instant they detect anyone from a cyber criminal to a renter to even a relative. It's those vaccinated relatives that are trying to forge their way into your home's title. They're going to shut it down. Go to HometitleLock.com. You can register your address right now and see if you're already a victim. Enter code RADIO for 30 days of free protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Wow. You know, I had to say something about this. You know how sometimes when you're just swimming in the ocean and a whole mess of sharks show up and start circling around you in the water, you'll have that one buddy who's like, just cut your arm open and give them a little blood. That's the best way to get rid of those sharks. I learned that on YouTube. There's always an idiot out there, right? Welcome to the latter days of the moderate intellectual and the complete overthrow of anyone smarter than that. Folks, freshly back from the mordant strains of near death, which nevertheless could not claim her, our friendly neighborhood White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, has set about the task of finding the thread of insanity upon which she was pulling before her little date with COVID, and is now yanking to beat the band, something which Jeffrey Toobin can undoubtedly appreciate it. Listen, her recent claims that record inflation is being used as a, quote, political cudgel against the Biden administration, and that their gargantuan spending bills will, in fact, lower inflation, should shake any sane human being's conviction that we do not, in fact, live in the dumbest simulation of a universe that could ever be conceived. The beauty of this is that she's both lying and not lying in the same instant. Yes, record inflation is being used as a cudgel against the Biden administration in the same sense that if a murderer drops his gun after the act and you pick that gun up and shoot him with it, it's being used as a weapon against that guy. The Biden administration caused the inflation. They're the criminal. Now, of course, it's being used against them. So, as I said, that part's true. But so what? It's called being held to account for the dumb and nefarious shit you've pulled in the short time you've been in office. Now, some presidents like to get freaky-deaky with the people under the resolute desk in the Oval Office, but this guy, Biden, seems to have spent his whole presidency thus far sleeping on top of it. So anyway, that's the true part of it. But the lie part is so outrageously idiotic that you have to wonder how often Jen Psaki sits at home after a long day with a glass of wine and goes, did that shit really just come out of my mouth? Now, to be fair, it is basically the job of the White House press secretary to lie for the president. Sad, but true. Now, some people are better at it, and some people probably do their damnedest to tell the truth where they can. But look, PR is PR, and cover your ass is the coin of the realm. The fact that Psaki is about the least believable liar I've ever seen doesn't change this fact. And when you get on national television in front of the members of the press and literally say that massive spending is going to lower inflation, Who believes this? Seriously, who believes this? Is there some subset of reporters out there who took multiple bricks to the dome as kids and are therefore dumber than the rest of the media who will actually give credence to this idea? Not only has what Psaki been saying is never happened ever, but multiple striking cases of the opposite can be held up pretty much on command by anybody with a fourth grade education. Spending doesn't lower inflation. In the same way that printing more money, like it's going out of style, doesn't lower inflation. Saying that something is false, is true, doesn't make it true. You understand that? I mean, can we get that through our head? It doesn't matter how much it hurts your little feels that it doesn't. Here's an idea. How about we all agree that we're only going to stoop to a certain level of BS before calling it a day? How about instead of saying something as stupid as that, you just say, you know what? I don't have a good answer for that. Literally, the only answer I have is so dumb that I don't want to say it out loud on camera for fear that someday it will come back to haunt me. Or you could, just not do terrible things to the economy in the first place. Probably a fantasy, but a man can dream. Now, Biden, who we like to talk about, is hidden down in the basement. He hasn't been hidden in the basement, Chris. In fact, he hasn't sat still here lately. And we got a lot of people out there who don't have their jobs. They're trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table. Everywhere you go, there's help wanted signs. People are either being stimulus checked to stay at home, or they just don't want to work. But everywhere I go, there's help wanted signs on the doors. And but you'd never know all that was going on from the tab President Biden's racking up on our dime. His regular weekend and few midweek trips back home to Delaware has cost nearly $3 million in security alone. That's what Secret Service expense records are showing. His security detail spent $1.96 million on 16 trips to his Delaware homes this year. It doesn't cost me that much money to go home. It doesn't. I just go home. And another 9 trips that he's taken aren't counted yet, but it's probably going to push the total to $3 million. This dude loves it in Delaware. He really loves it in Delaware. Those 25 trips have racked up in just 43 weeks in office. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, Trump, he went home to Florida. Yeah, he did. But he also went to a lot of other places, too. Like, to do the work of a president. Joe Biden just goes home. Like every weekend, he just goes home. I mean, what kind of sex swing does Jill have in the bedroom that they got to get back to? Can they not hang that in the Lincoln bedroom and get a little ghost action going in there? Like what is in that basement, Joe, that you got to get home to every single week, man? Tom Fitton, our friend over at Judicial Watch, he says the costs of presidential travel and security is of obvious public interest. He noted that the records are incomplete and said it's frustrating that after years of litigation through 2 presidential administrations, the Secret Service and Air Force are still stonewalling the cost of presidential travel. We really, if the government would just chill, if they just chill, but they do, they just go at things with no sense of consequence, right? And we just let them do it because we just figure what's out of our control. We really are being ruled by the elites, and it's disgusting. We really are being ruled by the elites, and I'm just absolutely tired of this thing. And so, costs incurred by agencies other than the Secret Service can dramatically increase costs. For example, 4 Trump stays at the coastal Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida of early 2017 cost $13.6 million, $10.6 million of which was for official aircraft and boats. Each Trump trip cost the Coast Guard about $1 million. So, it ain't right. It ain't right. And I'll be fair and say it on both sides of that. It's really not. Oh, Joe. That guy's a trip, man. Unfortunately, he is the leader of the free world, and you must bow to him. That's the deal. And don't you ever speak out against King Joe. Did you guys see the deal the other day where Kamala Harris was sitting at the deal signing the thing behind the presidential seal and she had blurted out? Y'all see that picture?
We had that.
You got that?
Yeah.
Show that picture. There it is. There's Biden's side of the deal. Kamala's behind it. The presidential seal is blurred out.
Why do you think that is?
I've speculated on this whole thing. And like, who are you trying to not offend in this? What are you saying by blurring out the presidential seal in that regard? And it is specifically that's blurred out.
Is there a penis in it? Like,
no, this isn't a Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
They're not hiding anything, I don't think.
This is very weird, Chad.
Yeah, that's an odd one, dude. And that's why I keep telling you, the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality these days is only 2 weeks. And I keep saying they're crashing the plane. They want to bring it down and turn it over to the globalists. That's what they want to do. See, that's why they have the most inept people right now. Because, again, I said it the other day. I saw an online poll. Who would you vote for if you had to between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? I just kept scrolling by. I don't want either one of them. So if you just get 2 levels of ineptness like that, I mean, she's really – I mean, like, Joe Biden was Barack Obama's insurance plan. Because nobody wanted to oust or off Obama. Because they knew they were going to get Joe.
And the Taliban knew it. We talked about it when we withdrew from Afghanistan, that the Taliban was like, yeah, leave Joe alone. He's not a menace. He's not a threat to us. But did you see when Ducey asked Psaki about why the vice president is unhappy? Did you see that?
I heard it. I didn't see it. You got the clip? Play it real quick.
So you guys have not heard that the vice president or key members of her staff are unhappy?
Here's what I know, Peter. I know that the president relies on the vice president for her advice, for her counsel.
Yeah.
She's somebody who is not only taking on issues that
Sure
are challenging. She's not looking for a cushy role here. No vice president is.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much every time Peppermint Patty moves her mouth, the lies are just spilling out. They're just spilling right the F out. There it is. I don't know. Let's sell something. What do you want to sell? Where are you? The block? I like it. Christmas time's coming, folks. I hope everybody's ready, even if your family doesn't let you come. You're thinking about the holidays, and the first item on your list needs to be iTargetPro. That's the revolutionary system that allows you to dry fire practice with your actual firearm in the comfort, safety, and privacy of your own home. In other words, without old Joe sniffing over your shoulder, you don't have to worry about him there. He gets around. We already established that. You got the cost of ammo going through the roof. It gives law-abiding gun owners a better way to train regularly. You don't have to go to the range. You don't have to spend your money on practice ammo. Just download iTarget's proprietary app and load the laser bullet in your firearm and start your training experience. Dry fire training will help develop muscle memory, sharpen target reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger function, a whole lot more. It makes you a better shot. iTargetPro comes with all major calibers, including .223 for your AR. So stay sharp with almost any firearm you own. They'll get you 10% off when you go to iTargetPro.com when you use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Also will get you free shipping. Smart way for you to practice. Pays for itself in a day. The letter I, TargetPro.com. Offer code Chad. iTargetPro.com. We'll be right back. Back here in the real world, apparently everybody's shooting each other. This is kind of insane, or even shooting at each other. This Detroit, which is kind of where you expect to get shot. This lady in Detroit, she decided to start shooting at the driver of a vehicle last week because she thought the guy driving the car was recording her while she urinated. That's what apparently she was going pee-pee. Her pee-pee turned to pew-pew. And so she was peeing outside a liquor store because who hasn't? She's just copping a squat. And so she turned around and old boy was in a silver Kia Rio. And she popped the car a few times with bullets. Yeah, I want to see that video.
We heard the gunshots. It was like pop, 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 pop. And I looked to my left and I seen the red hoodie. It was somebody standing right here with a red hoodie on.
Surveillance cameras capture a shooting on Detroit's east side. Watch as the suspect casually draws a pistol and opens fire. A woman nearby darts to an SUV. Another covers her ears.
And I was asking the cashier, I said, it was a dude just out here a minute ago shooting his gun. And he was like, that wasn't a dude, that was a whole female. He said, we got it all on camera.
That's a whole lot of gender appropriation right there. You don't know how she identifies. And she said, that's a whole female. There's a whole female out here emptying her gun. Driver said, I mean, like, look, if you're out there peeing on the street, I'm probably going to videotape it. Just because I want to point out how stupid you are. Like, look at this whole female out here pissing. I bet he won't go to that liquor store anymore. Yeah, there's a whole lot. The most disturbing thing about that story is the gender confusion. She assumed genders quite a bit. But old girl, she like she didn't even stop smoking her cigarette. She just popped off 4 caps and just kept on going back to it. You know? That's probably how she changes the channel on the TV, too. Pop, 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 pop. I was peeing. Speaking of urine stains, The View had a fiery segment with conservative guest who is not COVID vaccinated. And she said, I just don't think we should allow this misinformation. Play that clip.
This is a vaccine that was created to prevent severity of disease and to prevent hospitalizations. Now, we can have a whole debate on that in itself, but the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID and does not prevent you from transmitting COVID.
Oh, my goodness.
Reality, and we have
that's
seen that.
not so. Come on.
No,
you've been at Fox TV
you
too
don't have
long.
You don't have to listen to me on that. You don't have to listen to me. You can listen to the director of the CDC. You can look at the CDC's website. That is why masks were reinstated for people who were vaccinated.
I just don't think we should
So when you
allow
have the
this
Surgeon
kind of
General on,
misinformation on our air. I'm really sorry.
Oprah looks good.
I'm really sorry.
Sonny, first of all, I would say to you as a friend, what I just said to you is I am prioritizing my health, and people talk about the common
Over
good.
the health and safety
You're not going to
Damn,
have a common good
people.
if you're not prioritizing your own health. You have
Over
the
the health
Surgeon
and
General.
safety
on.
of other people.
This should sound very
You
familiar
guys aren't
to
going to
you,
let me
Jed.
talk.
This should sound very familiar to you. We got to go to break.
Whoopi the Hut. Whoopi done blew up. I don't know. It's Whoopi. Picture of health, Whoopi is. That was Jedediah Bila, obviously. I mean, you know, the thing about it is, like Joy Behar, her little deal's going to be, you've been watching Fox News too long. I mean, that's their go-to thing no matter what. I mean, she was stating facts. And then what's her name's going to jump on there and say, Oprah Jr., she's going to jump on there and say, we just can't have this kind of misinformation on the air. Are you kidding me? That's all it is on the air is misinformation. She was the one spitting some facts. They did reinstitute masks for vaccinated people. You can get it. You can spread it if you're vaccinated. That's your whole rhetoric. That's what you keep saying, that we still have to have social distance and boosters because the efficacy of the Pfizer vaccine drops by 58% after 6 months. That's the whole deal. You keep selling us that. Then she's going to get on there and say it, and you go, oh, that's misinformation. Well, which is it? Crying out loud, which is it? All right, so, God, you know the thing that makes me feel good on a Thursday, besides Joy Behar and Oprah Jr. and Fat Whoopi, is TikTok. I want to say TikTok.
This is really far from a fully articulated thought, but it's interesting to me that like everyone's favorite guys right now, which I would say is this guy and Jack Harlow, are like white guys who are comfortable in black environments. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not a fully articulated thought, but there's something about that. And like, especially in the case of Jack Harlow, like not just comfortable, but almost seeming to prefer it.
So is she for or against white people in black environments? She's against it. She's like, they shouldn't be comfortable
Yes.
around black people.
White
right?
people should stay as far as they can from black people.
Yeah. So
And
what she's saying is it's better if white people would socially distance from black people. So don't be desegregated. We should segregate. So everything you spouted to get rid of Jim Crow laws and, bring about the success of the civil rights movement was really just crap, right? It's like so let's go back to segregation. That's what you're saying. How dare people be comfortable around each other and actually get along and enjoy one another's company? That's just simply not the world we live in. I walked out of a building the other day, a public place. There were 3 black guys standing out there. They were doing their best to take a selfie of themselves. And they wanted the building sign, because it was Topgolf, okay? They wanted the sign behind them. And I said, let me help you guys. I'll take the picture. They handed me the phone. I took the picture, handed them the phone back, and walked to my truck and drove home. They said thank you before I left, and we walked across the parking lot at the same time. Like, never at any time did I go, I should really be uncomfortable in the presence of these 3 black men. Like, it never crossed my mind. That is not the freaking world we live in. Don't let the TikTokers, the quote-unquote influencers, the Behars, the Fat Whoopies, the Oprah Juniors influence your thinking. Okay, folks, it's not the world we live in. I get it. People have their plight. They have their struggle. They have their sense of oppression and persecution. They carry with them their sense of identity and their victimhood. But my God, let's not let it spill out in the mainstream as though that is reality, because I don't believe it is. We'll be right back. Of course, I want you to go watchchad.com. Watchchad.com, that is where all the fun stuff is. Find out where I'm going to be. Donate at Prather2022.com. And hey, listen, if you think I don't have special guests, I got special guests. Elijah Schaefer, host of Slightly Offensive, as well as You Are Here with Sydney Watson.
Yeah, special needs guests. That's what I am. My name Elijah. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you going to have you got an exclusive? Can you talk about that?
Which exclusive?
When this trial's over with?
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely
Rittenhouse?
it. I've spoken to the Rittenhouse team. I've spoken to the family, and they want to give me the exclusive interview with Rittenhouse when the trial's decided. And if that happens, if God lets that happen, then that'll be good, because we'll give him the best freaking shot of his life, and because he's had a few good shots already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll give him the 4th best shot of his life, I should say, and hopefully give some vindication. I want to give that guy a job.
Yeah, I hear you. Bring him down here. The difference between the vaccine and Kyle Rittenhouse is his shots actually work. Hey, currently Steve Deace, believe it or not, is in the lead. I sort of want to let him win with the merch thing, because it's Steve Deace, right? Just let him win. But we need to kick his ass, all right? Go to chadonblaze.com and use promo code CHAD20. Buy some merch. They're selling the crap out of this stuff. Steve Deace, dude.
I didn't even know that we were selling merch, but
you've
get
got
Chad's
a promo
merch.
code. But use Chad20.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Elijah's.
No, use Chad20, and I'm pretty sure even if you buy my merch with his code, he still gets it. And
That's
I have kick-ass merch coming out. Like, I paid thousands of dollars to this like far-right like Christian artist that's like making all this like Christian style "Get Behind Me, Satan, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ" like iconography.
Nice.
It's going to be epic when you can use Chad20 apparently to
you
get
go.
slightly offensive merch.
I'll take it. Anyway, tune into his show. They're live every night, 6 o'clock Texas time. Hey, love y'all. We'll talk to you on Monday. You don't want to miss that one. Believe me, revealing. Love y'all. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye.